what do you guys know about SVT, substance volume tracking? Anyone has idea? Anyone has idea? Any guesses?
Tracking of a substance, sometimes it is input or any reason is there, this mechanism can be used. I'm not sure. Maybe yes, I can answer it, but I think this is the case.
Not really. Not really. Substance volume tracking. What it may be. So it is by the word is showing that I think I'm going to track some substance. Am I right? Volume of some substances. Am I right? It is the meaning. Am I right? Based on the what I can say description I'm talking about. Substance volume tracking. So what it may be like now? Any idea? It is tracking of substances. Which substances? Where you have to talk? All the things questions comes. Okay. When I talk about the substance volume tracking, this is applicable only in the European Economical Area, EEA area. Okay. So there are several products, there are several chemicals. What happens actually? They have it in the their restrictions. Okay. Who will give this restriction? Any idea? Who will give this restriction? What is the restriction? Any guesses? Any guesses? Okay. So when I talk about the restriction, as you guys know that REACH regulation has put a restriction of producing, importing, exporting, consuming the some of the chemicals in European Economic Area due to the climatical changes or like impact on the climate, all the things actually. So as part of this, SAP has given the solution as a SVT, substance volume tracking. So what will happen? Example, if I'm a manufacturer of a uranium, okay, example, uranium is coming into the, like SVT, uranium is coming into SVT. So what will happen if I'm a manufacturer of uranium in India and I have got a good customer in the Europe, but there is I want to send I got 100 tons water. Okay. But there is a REACH regulation which says that I can send only 100 ton in a year. So what we can do actually, right? Am I right? Are you getting my point? So REACH regulation says that 100 ton I can send it once in a year. Okay, one time I cannot send it, but customer is telling that he want 100 ton of uranium, although he knows that REACH regulation actually, right? So now it's manufacturer responsibility to comply with the what I can say REACH regulations of for SVT, substance volume tracking. So by taking the sales order, okay, so I can come to know that this is how much quantity it out. I send it or export it to the Europe. Am I right? But I cannot able to trace it. I cannot able to trace it. Am I clear? Right? They cannot able to trace. Why we need to trace it? Example: if I don't, if I send a material more than a limit, what will happen? So it may going to make a issue. It may going to cancel my license, or either it may cancel. It may put a heavy penalty for me. It may give a heavy penalty for me. Am I clear? And the penalty, and this may going to ruin my business also. So that's the reason SVT will help. How SVT will help? That's also question now. How SVT will help? Any guesses, guys? How SVT will help? Any guesses? So by seeing the scenario now, what will happen now? SVT. Okay, please note it down. Substance volume tracking (SVT) will help us to comply with the REACH restricted material, in EEA area. That means in bracket European Economic Area.
Sorry,
By
can you come again? REACH restricted material, yeah.
REACH restricted material in EEA area, European Economic Area, by tracking the quantities in different business processes. In the SVT, we have a four part. One is a configuration, second is REACH registration, and limits. You can mention as a limit as of now, then I'll give a different word. Okay. Threshold value. I'm sorry. Maintain the threshold value. Third is declaring the material as a REACH relevant.
Sorry, can you?
Declaring the material as REACH relevant. Next is actually REACH tracking system. I'm sorry, SVT tracking system, like monitoring of the SVT tracking system.
Sorry, I missed the first one. Can you just give me the first one?
Configuration.
It's just configuration.
Yeah, SVT configuration
Okay.
by maintaining the threshold value. You can maintain threshold value. Clear?
Yes.
So now we'll go ahead with the first thing. Before we go to the configuration, we will have to understand how SAP will track the substances. That's a question, right? How SAP will track the substances, because SAP system will not be knowing it. What are the material will be there? And you tell me now. You may have the question: how a reach will come to know that you are producing the or importing or exporting or doing anything with the SVT related material? How reach will come to know? Any guesses, guys? How SAP or how reach will come to know that you are producing the reach relevant material? How? Any guesses?
Maybe while taking the license, we need to inform them, right?
Which lessons? From where you are taking lessons?
We are producing any chemical, then we also need to take license, right? In that case, we need to inform the authorities what chemical we are producing. So they will got to know you are producing which relevant material by that, right? And for the volume, I think you need to share the data.
Okay. Not, sir. Not really. Not really. No. How SAP, like how reach will come to know? Okay. We are not registering anything actually. Okay. Reach will not ask, right? So reach will say that as a manufacturer, it's my duty it's my duty to register the chemical under the reach. I have to do the reach registration. The reach registration, what I will do, I will mention as a, this is a quantity and all. Am I clear? No. What will happen? So if I'm a manufacturer of the chemical and I'm using any registration material, why I have to register? Be careful. The scenario is not that easy. If I'm not registered, if they caught that 100% my company will be going to lockout, or rather I'm going to get a huge penalty that I may have to myself to close the company. So now, so that's the reason we will, what will happen? I will ask, I will register the things, and I'm manufacturer of, I'm not manufacturing it, but I'm getting a material which is coming under this SVT, and that material is manufactured by my vendor. I'm buying it from. So what will happen, right?
Yeah, well, I'm getting the point. The question is, earlier also I said we need to register. I didn't understand what is the difference between what I said and what you said. Can you explain, please?
Okay, I'll tell you. You said that when you are registering the reach, okay, when you are going for reach, we're going to make it. See, I'll tell you. In a reach, there is a two scenario. If you are following the reach, it is not that I have to inform the reach for my SVT related products. Am I clear? Which you told. Okay, if I am following the reach regulation, okay, example for MSTS or something, I am following the reach regulation. Okay, and it is not that what I can if I am following the registration, I have to tell that it's not that. No, here what I'm telling is, if you are not following the reach also, if you are not following the reach regulation, okay, for example, you are doing a business in India only, the first time you're sending it, and you're following the, what I can say, international regulation for MSTS, not a reach one. Okay, but now the thing is, now you've got a business in Europe, and it's time to register your product under the reach SVT process. Am I clear? So when I talk about that, you have to register your product with a reach with a reach regulation under the SVT. You said that a reach regulation you have to inform or registered. So if I'm not following also, if I'm manufacturing anything, or if I'm doing anything with, what I can say, respirated, so I will have to do that. Hope you got my point, right?
Yeah, well, I think I was speaking from no, I'm saying a different thing. Only the scenario is different. I'm telling from the perspective that I'm manufacturing itself in Europe. In that case, it will applicable. But you are saying if I'm even manufacturing outside the Europe, as SVT also applicable for exports, at the time of exports, I need to register, right?
You are right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now, okay, I'll come to your scenario now. I'll come to your scenario. Okay. So if I'm a manufacturer in Europe, okay, if I'm a manufacturer of, sorry, example, now I'm having a manufacturing unit in Europe, and I'm a European company, and I'm following the reach, Shitich. I'm following the reach, okay? But two scenarios I'll tell you. Okay. Four scenarios in the SVT, okay? One is I'm a manufacturer. I'm a European company. I'm having the manufacturing plant in Europe, and there is a scenario called consume. There is a restriction on consuming of the chemical, manufacturing of the chemical, and export of the chemical. This scenario and import of the chemical. Shitij. I'm a European company having a manufacturing company in the plant in the Europe. Second scenario is I'm an Indian company and I have only vice versa. I can say like I have only export scenario. I'm exporting to one of the European company. For them, it's import scenario. Am I clear now?
Yeah, I think I got the all scenarios.
So now, example now, first of all, what I'll do, okay, where I'll going to register, if I'm coming to one of the scenario, I'll going to register it. Either I'll not register it, but there's, yes, still, if I'm not coming in this one of the four scenario, but still I have to register it. Why? Example now, I'm buying some like a SVT related product from the vendor. Okay. So I will have to, I'm getting a supplier register number, That also I have to maintain it in the system. Am I clear? So that means like I'm not coming under any of the rich scenario, but still I'm I'm purchasing some of the chemical raw material which is coming which is provided by the vendor. I'm buying some raw material from the vendor that is coming in the SVT. In that scenario, what I'll do? How am I going to handle this scenario? I'm not coming under any of the scenario as I'm not manufacturing it. I'm not like doing anything with SVT. But still, I want to like SVT says that I have to use the SVT. I'm getting the SVT. How? Because I'm purchasing some material from the vendor, some raw material I'm purchasing from the vendor, and I have to add that into the system. How am I gonna do that?
Maybe you will get that supply register number and you need to make it in
You
the
are
system.
right. You are right. You are right. So when you come to the supply register number, when you like having the reach register, right? So in the CG02, when you're creating a master data, right? So when you're describing the threshold limit and all, be careful. If you are using any SVT, if you are buying any SVT related material from the vendor, supplier will give his registration number. Supplier will give his registration number. That you have to enter it in the system. That's all. Okay, that is one scenario. So then you'll not going to track anything. Okay, you're not going to track anything. You'll just monitor it. In SVT, there's a two things. One is a monitor, second is a tracking. Monitor is like you're going to check it. Okay, this is a SVT material. Monitoring will happen for this scenario. I'm buying some SVT related material from the vendor and I want to monitor it. That's it. Because there is no impact for me. Because why I want to monitor it, I want to check the as I'm a manufacturer, I'm also responsible while I'm purchasing the SVT material. So I'm just monitoring it. Okay. If I'm crossing the limit or something, so I will just inform the vendor. So we'll stop it. We'll go to buy it next year. This is a kind of a thing. We're going to make it. Next. Second scenario is where I have to do the registration. How I can do the registration? So I have to go to reach office or something. How to do the registration? How it is? Any idea? How can I do the registration? Any idea, guys? Okay. So as a manufacturing company, I will not directly go to the, like, or SAP will help. Okay. One simple thing I would like to say: there are some outside SAP works will happen in the SVT, such as reach registration. Once we got a reach registration number, then we will going to put it on the system, SAP system. But before we get to the like a registration number, there are different steps we have to follow it. One is you have to gather our information, what are the materials we have it and what is the quantity, like all the details. And there will be a form will be there. We'll have to submit it to the reach. Are we really directly going to submit to the reach? Answer is no. There are consultants are there, like third party consultants, I can say. So they'll be there. So we will provide the information to the third party guys and there will be forms and all. These are all the offline process, okay? Without SAP, offline SAP. I'm sorry, I can say like without the outside the SAP it will happen. Then like he will submit to the SAP. He will submit to the reach regulation. The reach regulation team will give the registration number. In a reach registration also, there are different answers, okay? Like I will show you the system. Okay, there are different of the registrations are there. Like you're already ready, like pre-registration, post-registration. There are several options are there. We'll go through that later part. So once they review our request, they will take some 1 month, maybe less than that, 3 weeks to 4 weeks time. They will take it and they will give a registration number. Then what we'll do, we will enter that registration number in our specification management. Then what we'll do, we will put the threshold value. Example, I'm a manufacturer of uranium and I'm just giving an example, okay? And reach SVT, as per the reach, I can import, I'm importing a 10 ton of what I can say uranium, I can say, okay? What will happen? I want to get notified. If I cross the 10, then gone. I will going to get a penalty. So what I will going to do actually, SVT system will help us to track this threshold limit. By using the SVT, I can put the limitation saying that once a 50% of 10 ton reach, it will display the message. Okay, it will display the message to the like a sales team, sales and the sales guy or sales engineer who are all there, right? Who will going to create a sales order, for this particular material or something, right? Or production order, whatever it's basically. So he will get a material. Oh, okay, 50% limit is reached on the specified limit. Okay. So once a 70%, sometimes it's a 50%, sometimes 70%. Some customer will ask that they don't want to get notified on the 50%. So they will say that, 70%. Put it on 70%. Once the 70% is reached, they should get a information. Okay, just the information. This is still in a green color, green color. Second scenario will come 90%. Once your limit is crossed 90%, you will get an message, you will get an email notification, you will get it's kind of a warning kind of a thing for you. These are all the things we can set up, okay, by doing the configuration. What exactly you need to, by discussing with the business, you have to ask them once a 70% reach, what is the threshold value you want it, like a 70%, 50, 70, 90, or a 70, 90, 100. They will tell us. And what kind of a action you want to configure the system. Once the 70% is reached, you want just a email notification, or you want just information to be displayed to the user, whatever it is actually. So SAP system has the capability to display, send a notification, and block the business process also. It is a powerful system. So we can ask a requirement, we can based on that we can want to configure the system. And what will happen once 100% limit is crossed? Once 100% limit is crossed, it will block the business process. Example, sales order. Okay, sales order. Okay, you are getting a sales order for uranium, and 100% limit is reached. So it will block the sales order. When I say that sales order, do you think we can block the sales order? Can I block the sales order? Can I block the sales order?
Yes, we can block. There are different blocks in sales order.
Like
credit blocks, SVT blocks, and the blocks. You can put different blocks. Credit block is there.
Very good. Okay. So I will ask you a different question. Okay, your sales order. I have a business process. I'm a manufacturer of mobile. Okay, I have manufactured mobile, and mobile is converted to SVT. And as you are my customer. 100 you said that, hey, I want 100 mobiles. Then I'll say that, hey, Shitich, no, I cannot send 100 mobiles at a time. So I will send 30 this quarter, 30 next quarter, 30 another quarter, 4 quarter, I'm going to send 100 mobile. But sales order will be 100 only. In a sales order, when you create a sales order, it will be 100. Am I right?
Not sure. I'm not from the sales. I know there are credit block in sales, like credit block another block. But then SVT, I think there are different blocks. You ask for the blocks, I think there are blocks we can put.
No. I'm not talking about SVT at all. Generally, I'm asking.
Yeah, we can put the block. No? There is credit block already there.
No, I'm not talking the blocks. I'm not talking blocks. Generally, I'm telling you, if I got 100 mobiles, if I got a sales for the 100 order, I got it now. 100 number of 100 mobiles, customer needed. So what I'll do, I'll create a sales order for 100 only. Am I right?
No, we can divide that also. No? We have functionality of split also. So it's our choice. Either we can create 100 or 25, 24 orders. It depends on how we schedule it, scheduling element.
Correct. Okay, let's take that only. But normally what will happen in the sales orders, okay, sales, if we got 100, okay, they will get 100, what I can say, numbers. Then When they're going to deliver it, they will not maintain it actually. So in a sales order, there is a one confirmed quantity field. Hope you know, hope you are aware about it, right? Confirmed quantity. What does that mean? Anyone knows about it? Confirmed quantities.
So confirmed quantity is basically like by a date, a certain number of date, by a certain date, we would be able to confirm that we would be able to deliver that much quantity. Like suppose if we have created order on 2nd of February and for 20,
What is that?
yeah, so suppose if we have created an order for 20 quantity and we are only able to deliver 10 by 5th of February.
Okay.
So for 5th of February, the confirmed quantity will be 10 in the schedule line.
Very good, very good. Okay. Perfect. You said properly now. Okay. So now, SVT will work on this particular button. Am I clear? So, example, sales order quantity is 100. Okay. And in a confirmed quantity, how much I sent. So that will be entered in the confirmed quantity. Am I right? How much is that or how much I sent? The real data is confirmed quantity, right? Real data I can get it from the confirmed quantity field. So SVT will trigger the data. SVT will work based on the confirmed quantity fields in the sales order. Am I clear? At the same time in a production order or something, other things also. So in a confirmed quantity field, if the limit is like reach 70%, 90%, 100%, then system will start acting on it. Am I clear?
Yes.
So how can SAP system will come to know that this material is reach relevant now? That is also one of the question, right? How SAP system will come to know that this is SVT related product? There should be checkpoint, right? How? Any idea? How SAP system will come to know that this material is related to reach? Any guesses, guys? Any guesses? I will tell you.
Maybe in
How?
material master.
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Maybe in material master level will maintain that.
Wonderful. You are right. So in a material master, we have the one of the view called classification view. Am I right? We have the one more view called classification view. Again, so this classification will not be enabled by in a standard things. It is a standard thing only, but yes, as in GLM, the label data, right? The same label data view, right? The same here also. Guys will hide that. I mean, hide means that it will be in a disable condition. We will have to tell them to enable it actually. Okay, in a material master, we will have the classification view. There we will going to declare this material as a reach relevant and SVT relevant, and we have to put one class name. There's one standard class is there. That class we have to maintain. It's a very simple class. Like we will say that it's a reach relevant. The class will going to maintain it. Clear?
Yeah.
So now we will go to the substance volume tracking. Substance volume tracking. What is the feature of the substance volume tracking? Compliance with the legal regulations, evaluation of tracked quantities with the traffic light status, support of quantity dependent regulation, support of quantity independent regulation, support of customer defined checks. Okay, we'll see that. The agenda we're going to do it. Agenda is purpose and feature of SVT, which you already seen. Master data structure for SVT, class, VATs, and characteristic for SVT. We'll see that also. Volume monitoring on injects. So these are all the 5 things we will want to learn in SVT. Substance volume tracking. What is the purpose? Many countries mandate registering maximum chemical quantities based on the specific threshold. Substance volume tracking ensures compliance by recording and monitoring these quantities for various activities. The system compares recorded amounts with the limits, issuing warnings and potential blocking processes exceeded, ensuring adherence to quantity restrictions. So they are not mentioned anything about the reach or something, so don't get confused here. Okay.
So, like you said, it's in European, right? So is it applicable for anywhere else other than Europe?
Like this SPT? No.
No. Okay.
No. One thing I would like to say here, okay, as of now, it is only EEA area. You can go to saphelp.com and you can just check it once. They very clearly mention that EEA area, which is that European Economical Area. Am I clear? European Economical Area only, because they have a different regulation. Okay. So measurement of substance streams, variable setting for which data is to be measured. Okay. Variable setting for which data is to be measured. Online checks in logistics process, purchasing, production, sales, and shipping. Be careful in the standard scenario. The latest system, I don't know in newer system what is there. Okay. So what and all SAP provides as a standards, you may have to check with SAP only. Normally in the latest system, what SAP is giving for a purchase. Purchase means, like our issue is a sales order, right? Sales order actually, by using the sales order, I can make it production order. Production order means I think, what is that? Is it technique for a production order? Production order only, right? For what I can say, production. Am I right?
Yeah.
And CS and shipment. So CS and shipment also, we can just make it. So shipment, I'm not sure, okay, what they are talking at in this document. Okay, trust me, because in a shipment, SAP is not providing, but yes, still you can, track the SVT related in shipment by doing the custom solution. Example, you will have some document, right? While you're shipping document, right? You will have to declare one of the shipping document. By shipping document, you should have that confirmed quantity or something. I mean, whatever they want, you want to take it or declare. Based on that, you will meet that. Clear? Am I clear? Everything can be done, but some of the things can be done with standard things. Some of the things are in the custom. So message output, message that would write a 170% is reached, we'll get a message. Sending messages, yeah, it can trigger the message to the some people based on the rules. Okay, I'll tell you what are the rules actually. And blocking orders. So blocking orders basically nothing. Once 100% quantities, utilized, what will happen basically? It will not allow you to. It will allow you to create a sales order. Okay, but it will not allow you to confirm the sales order. Am I clear? It will not allow you to confirm the sales order. Okay, then you can unblock it, and that won't be problem at all. So material assignment. Ensure exactly one specification is determined for a material. If not guaranteed, let an additional filter. Okay, are you getting over what exactly it is? So for SVT, we will use the 1:1 relation only. We cannot use the 1:n, n:1 or other scenario. That's the meaning of it. Clear? Not clear? Next, copy, adopt, and exchange the standard function module CBRC library specification from material get. This is the function. This is a standard function model. I will show you that it will be pretty preloaded. But be careful. Don't think that it always a preloaded. Be careful. Some of the system it may not be preloaded. So that's the reason you have to check each and every function module. So CBRC a library specification from material get. That means it will get the material from the specification master. Sorry, it will get the material from the material master to the specification master. It's like that. In customization from source to form tracking, the module filter out specification of category GG class. Okay, logistic documents without a material specification, a reference are not tracked. What is this? Material marked as relevant but lacking a specification assignment are logged with error message during volume tracking. Hope you got this point right. If you're not assigning any material, if you just create a specification, or either if you're not if you're not declaring the material as reach relevant, so it will not take it actually. It will not track. You will get an error. Composition. Ensure one composition instead with the present SAP EHS 1012003 certain customization under specified data determination. No need to worry anything. These are all the standard things. It's already there. Validate active use rating, validity rating settings in a substance volume tracking for derived from the composition, typically listed substance. This also, no need to worry, it's all there actually. Right? To customize the hierarchy, copy and adopt the CPRC library specification from the material get. This function model has to be adapted actually. Right? Next, EHS data for regulatory check. There are basically two types of regulation checks: substance related quantity check, substance related check, substance quantity is not relevant. Okay, we'll check that. Okay, so these are data, EHS data for regulation checks and all. This is what we do it. Then this is a value assignment. These are all the don't worry. These are all the things like already predefined one in the system. No need to do anything in this. Am I clear? No need to do anything actually. And one more thing I would like to say. I'm sorry, my apologies. There's a one more regulation. Okay, TSCA 12B. Under that regulation also, like we track the substances. But again, this is for Europe only. Clear? TSCA 12B. Clear? Hello. So this is all about like a following value assignment type for the relevant regulation checks and all, like CBRC, EHS field data, and the EHS map and data assignment for CV and EHS data. These are all the things we normally do it. Next, substance volume tracking. We talk about specific quantity limits, registration, produced quantity, consumed quantity, purchase quantity, sold quantity. All the things are there here. It doesn't mean that you have to follow each and everything.
Hey, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
So here we talk about, there is a one value that we have it in a customization. Okay, what I'll do now, let me first go to the SAP system because I don't want to get confused actually, right? I don't want to make you confused. So let me go to the system. Let's go with the configuration for SVT. Okay, first, then I will come back to this, what I can say, PPT. /SPRO, configuration, EHS, product safety, substance volume tracking. Check prerequisites. There are some prerequisites to be check it before we go with the SVT. Example, these are the things. Okay, the regulations are stored in the system under the specify regulations. This we already seen it, right? Like what I can say, the basic data tool that we talk about. Okay, so you create required regulations and regulatory other things that which we already did it actually. So there is no need to do it again and again. Then we talk about a property information also be like a maintained. So this standard, anyway, property also like it's a standard property only. No need to do anything actually. Not clear? Okay. Next, there should be what I can say, specify violation type, setup property. These are all the things that has to be done. Don't worry. Everything is a standard here. Whatever they have mentioned, everything is a standard. No need to worry anything in this. Okay. And if you want to use your own violation type class characteristics instead of those supplied by the SAP, you must assign your own. That is all the standard things. We know that if you want to create a new other things, we can just make it actually, right? What I will do, directly I will take it to the system so that you can understand this. Specify scenarios. Specify scenario to the scenario category. Okay, so for which business scenario you want to have the SVT to be implemented. Okay, these are all the things predefined in the system, so no need to worry anything. But yes, it doesn't mean if everything is there, still we will not maintain it. Okay, example now, you can see that scenario: consumption is there, export is there, import is there, production is there, purchase and sold quantity. All the things are there, right? Okay, I will go ahead with this now. So con means consumed quantity. Okay, EXP means exported sold quantity. In exported sold quantity, we have the delivery and sales. Okay, imported purchase quantities. In import, we have the purchase and purchase equation. And production. Production, we have a produced quantities. Production, we have produced quantities or production actually. Then you have the purchase quantities. In purchase quantity, we have the purchase and purchase equation. And we have sold quantities. SO means sold quantities. Any doubts here? So it doesn't mean that customer will have all the scenario implemented here. Okay, customer for any customer basically 1 or 2 scenario may come up. It may be sold quantity, it may be like consumption, it may be like production, it may be import or export anything. There is no condition that everything will be coming. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now specify data determination per regulations and scenario. Okay, so here regulatory list. Okay, be careful. Here we will not create any regulation because SAP provides everything as a standard only. But if you are implementing SAP, be careful. Be careful. What we have to do actually, we will have to just check this functional model first of all. Regulatory list, notification check, notification check, notice check actually. Okay, notification check is nothing but be careful. I had told you that I have a vendor like my none of the business process or materials are coming under SVT. Only my purchasing some material, raw material, that is coming under the SVT. For that, my vendor is already providing all the supported document, or he's already giving the registration document, everything. So in that time, I'm going to use the notification check and reach and TSP.
No, can you repeat once?
Example, I'm not none of the material which I produce or like I'm not directly involved. None of the material product side which I'm manufacturing it is not directly coming under the which is not directly coming under the SVT or reach. Clear? But there are some raw material which I'm purchasing from the vendor. This is coming under the SVT. So as a customer for my vendor, it is my duty to ask him the reach registration number and all. So now, once I get that, what I can say, registration number, I will enter the system. So now I'm not getting any penalty because I'm either consuming that material, I'm getting a raw material. Be careful. I'm very clearly telling, getting a raw material, and by using that raw material, I'm making the product, and my product is not coming under the reach. Am I clear? So next, I will, like I'm using the raw material, the SVT related raw material, and I'm making the product, and my product is not coming under the reach or SVT. In that case, I use a notification check. Notification check means I'm just monitoring it, like how many like raw materials or reach relevant materials are coming or SVT relevant materials coming. Only for that purpose, I'm using the SVT or not for any tracking purpose. Trust me, there are some customer like ITC Tobacco, BAT Tobacco, John, something is there. That 2-3 companies are using the same thing actually. I'm just telling you. Coming to the reach. Reach, you can see that reach export scenario, reach for import scenario, production scenario. All the scenario are maintained here. And there is one more regulation, the TSCA B 12B for the export and import scenario only. So now, when I talk about like export scenario reach, there are function models are maintained. I will tell you that the function model later part. Okay, next I want to talk about now export scenario after reach. Okay, next what is scenario reach? I'm sorry, I will not talk about this. Okay, I'll select this and I'll go to this one function model. Okay, so next, okay, going to the EHS safety, so tracking scenario. This one, the reach export model for this. Okay, I'm taking the reach export scenario example and function model. All the standard function models are there. Be careful when I talk about reach export. We have the two scenario, delivery and sales. We are seen in the last screen. Am I right? So read planned data. Okay, read planned data. Okay, that is what we meant. When you talk about read planned data, we mentioned that it will read the example like a sales order data. Am I clear? And read confirmed data. What was mentioned in the confirmed quantity field, right? It will refer. This function model will refer actually. Am I right? Next. And next, read confirmed quantities, right? This function model will refer the confirmed quantity in the sales order. Okay, which I'm taking the sales order number. Okay, this function module will refer the confirmed quantities actually, right? Oh, is it? Next, transfer of logistic data. So now what will happen? Whatever the data is there, that will transfer to the EHS system by this function module. And data separation, it will separate the data, which is like when we have the data like which is coming under the reach or which is not coming under reach. That separation, it will be done by this function module. Build order key, it will build this function module, like build the order key, all the things actually. Next, and again the same thing, read order key. So these are all the things that will read the different scenarios, orders like a sales order key, all the things, right? That will be actually, right? Next. The same thing, be careful for the notification check. If you're implementing notification check also, we have the, what I can say, different thing, like a function model or material determination. Like again, here also we had for material determination is there for everything. What exactly, by seeing this, what you guys are sensing it, what maybe it is actually? By seeing this function module, like CBRCM relevant Matner filter, what exactly is showing actually?
I think it will filter the material which are relevant for that particular check or not.
One particular, relevant for SVT. Am I clear?
Yes.
Very good, very good, very good. You are right. Others, hope you guys are able to understand, right? Everyone is on the same page, right?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Next we'll go to the polymer or labeling or monomer composition. See, polymer and label, these are basically used in the oil and gas companies, but normally, now even they are not using it because SVT won't work for them. You know how SVT is not work for the oil and gas companies? Oil company, I'm sorry, not oil and gas. I can say oil company. Anyone worked in the oil and gas company earlier or having experience in oil and gas company? Hello. Anyone works in the oil and gas company?
No.
Others. In oil and gas companies, okay, what they do, they will not directly sell their product to the, what I can say, customer. They will have their own, delivery centers. Delivery centers basically on the delivery centers, nothing but like a example Saudi Arabia. Okay, example Saudi Arabia. Okay, Saudi Arabia, till their border, they will supply the oil and gas. Later part, they will have their sponsors or something, something they have it, a vendor or something. Okay, so they will take care of it. So my duty is to pass the Saudi border. That's all. Okay. After that, whatever the things will be there, they're middleman. I'm not getting a right word. So that's the reason I'm asking. Guys, anyone work in an oil and gas company? There is a one, what is that? Some word they use it actually, vendor or something, they use it actually. So they will take care of it actually. I'm not getting a proper word for it. I'm sorry for that. So in that case, you use either, you will not use it. So SVT is nothing to do with this labeling actually. Specify rules for country determination. Again, the same thing. This is also related to polymer only. So we will not do any configuration in this in SVT. Specify selection criteria for volume tracking. Here, this is a standard configuration with a standard table. Standard will show the standard table where the data will, like store. So this is all the information. Nothing to do anything, no actions, no configuration required. Next, go to the specify monitoring period. So what is this monitoring period you have to talk about? Any question, any idea? What is this all about?
For SVT, as a notification, there are checkbox. When I look on check for that, what is that checkbox meant? If we put a check on that particular checkbox, then it will consider the period other than the year, and I think it will be picked from here. If I'm not.
You are right. Thanks for the right guess, almost right guess. Not fully. Okay. When I talk about that, right, like it is asking in which quarter you want to, what I can say, you want to track it. That if you want to track for entire year, you can just mention all the quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. So you can see this quarter one starting with first date of the quarter and third with last date of the quarter. It's like that. Okay. Normally we mention all the quarter, Shitej. We will not mention anything. But there are some.
I'm not. If you go to the earlier configuration where you are showing us that SVT check, right?
This one.
No, the first specified scenario. The first one.
Okay.
Yes. Go to the specified second one.
Okay.
This is the checkbox, right? The period. If you don't check it, it will consider the whole year. If you check it, then it will consider the period.
Yeah, that can be. I can say 50% yes or no. Okay.
I think it's itself. If you right click on go on help, it will say the
it will say that. But I'll tell you one thing: we never click on the period here, but still it works. I had checked that also one. Kshitij, you can try in your system. You don't mention the period. You don't click on the period. Okay, and try it. Like mention the period in the there. It will take. Still it will take. It will still you to consider as a period only. Okay. But this period, what we actually like explore, like we thought or we learned it, like we have the initial run and delta run, right? That period we normally consider actually, not for this period. Not clear? We have initial run and delta run in EHS SVT, right? So that period we sync with this period actually. You can check it. You can unmark and you can just make it. Okay. Yeah. Next. Okay. So monitoring period we completed. Specify quantity limits and reaction. Okay. This is a threshold value we are talking about. Okay. So these are all the standard threshold value. Normally will not change. Okay. And unit of measure also. If customer wants a different unit of measure, you can change it. But as of now, in my experience, I never seen any customer ask for the different unit of measure. And like a threshold limit also might get changed. If you want to mention the like a new threshold limit, click on the new entry and add the regulatory list threshold, lower quantity, upper quantity, unit of measure, and period. Here we talk about a period. This actually it count. If you mention the period, okay. So if you can restrict the threshold value based on the period actually. Taking to same here only, but I don't want to mention that anyway. So I will go to the limit value. See, here we mentioned it now. Example, I had one threshold like a 0 to 1 lakh or something like 1,000 ton, okay, or 10,000 ton. So I will select this and I mention the reach element. So what is this information? If it is a 70%, this is a standard configuration, okay. You can change it also. Like you can mention as a 70%. You can percent like you can mention if customer says that 50%, you can just mention 50% also. Just add it here. 90%, 100%. This is standard one. Once a 70% of your limit is reached, system will display the message saying that like a 70% limit is reached. Once 90% of your specified limit is reached, you will get your system will display a message and send the messages also. Once 100% is there, then it will display the message, send the message, and block the business process. All the things will happen. But be careful, guys. Here, if customer is telling you to make a 50%, okay, you have to ask him what exactly he wanted. Like he just want to display the message or send a message. Now, what we are facing it, we are doing the implementation of SVT. We already did it actually. So, what's the problem we are facing it now? Customer initially told that for a 70%, he need notification has to be sent to the people. Now, what's happening is like a system for the 50%. Sorry, we have the 50%. 50% system is giving the messages and he's telling like we need to make the configuration so that this system will push the notification to the people. We did it. Every day is getting 100 of notification. So people's email, like a user's email ID is flooded with this notification only. So we had announced it, but now we have again we had taken back the announcement. So these are all the things will happen. So we'll have to tell the side effect of what is that notification. Okay, you can tell them, you can recommend them to have the notification or email notification at 90% at the time of warning or error only. Because most of the customers will be not knowing it, so they will tell us to make it actually. Am I clear? Next. So specify bonded warehouse. So to have this bonded warehouse set up, the bonded warehouse function and all, the customer should have the warehouse, SAP warehouse management implemented. So it has to be implemented here. Then only we can get it. So what we'll do, we're going to enter the regulatory numbers, bonded warehouse determination, bonded warehouse checks. So these are all the things we enter it. The same thing, specify bonded warehouse also. Here also we maintain the same thing. Right? Next. Again, so based on the warehouse guys details, we go to new entry, enter the regulatory list, plant, and log number, validity area, where to all the things we will enter it. But yes, we are not the owner of this data. We get the data from the what I can say warehouse management, right? Next, there's the BADI for substance volume tracking, enhancement tracking process. So standard BADI is there if you want to enhance any tracking process actually. Set up online checks. These are all the standard configuration again. Set up online checks. These are all the things already there. Okay, relevant. See here, if you talk about import scenario, export scenario, production scenario, the reach. So there are function models out there, but be careful at the time of implementation. You have to see the system. Most of the team, I don't know how it's happening. SAP is giving a blank screen here. Function models are not at all. Am I clear? There are several function models SAP is missing while they loaded the system. Next, we'll go to the see here relevance check. Is it relevant or not? That check it will happen. And volume determination, limit value check. It will check the limit, these function modules, and block follow up or document message collection. So these are all the things will be done by these function modules. So once a blocking is done or once the tracking is started, so this will happen. I mean, these function modules start acting on that. Activate regulation checks in a sales. CBRC exit 47 SO. This 100% has to be activated. Am I clear? Am I clear? This is a standard one again. But one thing here, even this also will not be maintained in the system. This also will not be maintained in the system. So this again, we may have to do the recheck the config. If it is not there, then we have to make a see. You have to mention that check SD, because why check SD? Because this entire SVT is depending on the SD process only. Sales and distribution process. Error message is equal to who will be the error message? Example now, once we cross like a 70%, once we cross a 90% or 100%. Okay, example 100% is error, right? So who should get a notification? So now we can trigger that with two ways. One is with like a rules and one is with this recipient here. SVT underscore notification, which we have it right here. So you can use this. There is a rule SVT notifier. So that rule can be assigned to the particular users. So automatically their email ID will be flooded with the notification. It's very simple. Restriction handle, you can put it later part. Specify functions for volume tracking. These are standard again. So no need to do anything with this. Specify data transfer for the property tree. So as you know that SVT relevant data is maintained in the specification management. So we need to get the data from the specification management or property tree, like a data determination for the reach and the data assignment, save data, value assignment, condensed quantities. So these are all the things, okay? And getting the data from the property tree will be done by these function models. Again, save here. These function models also sometimes will be not maintained.
Model that we are seeing are standard function model, right? Once we start, so basically it will be present in the system, but we need to maintain here. How do we have a list so that we know which to maintain?
Very good question. Very good question. So once you bought the license from the SVT, right? SAP gives all the standard function model, list of function models actually, standard function model. Okay. So what you have to do once you got that SVT license, so you have to go to the configuration. You have to check it also. Sometimes in the latest version of the system, these function models are slightly changed. Okay, slightly they had changed the naming or it's not just naming. The functionalities are little changing the function models. Okay, so hence once you bought a license, so SAP will give the list of the function models, so that you have to check it. That's the one method. Second method actually, like you will have the sandbox system, right? You have the sandbox system, right? So from there you can copy it also. Two ways are there, Kshitij.
In Sandbox also, if you are implementing for the first time, in Sandbox also it will be blank, right?
You will have the CIO system. From there you can just make it actually. CIO system. CIO system, like what I can practice system, you'll have it, right? In organization. So your practice system, right?
We need to copy from somewhere else, right?
You have to copy it from there. You can copy it, either you can go here. 1 second, I'll show you that function models are here also. Am I clear?
We can get this and then we need to copy it.
But the copy is there, but my worry is actually, okay, so I will tell you. So you will not get a clear picture. In license document, they will mention each and everything nicely. One more way is there, you can get a list of function model for SVT in the SAP marketplace. Even that also you can get it. In a sequence wise, it will be there. Right? There's a baddie for setup job for volume tracking. These are the standard jobs. They are given in notes. No need to do anything in this. Again, there's two baddies are there. For one is for the only representative purpose. The representative purpose is again where you use this representative purpose. Any idea? If you really understood, then what I explained. When may use a representative purpose? Where will use? Where we will use the representative purpose? This representative purpose will be using, as I told you, right? Like we'll not monitor it, we'll not track, we'll just monitor it, we'll not track it. Like if I'm buying the raw material from the vendor and the vendor raw coming under the reach, in that case only we use this. Okay, there's a bad actually. Another one bad is specifically for the announcement for the output of the customer list. Okay, be careful. Most of the customers are lagging with the customer list. Okay, if you want to have the customer list output, so you can enhance this standard baddie, but customer should have the customer list maintained in the system. So it is not that all the customers will have it, but most of the customers are not having the customer list maintained in the SAP system. That's we need to implement this enhancement. set up notification check, set up monitoring for a TSPA. There are nodes out there, you can just refer it. So then we come with the authorization. So authorizations will not use it for here. So these are all the configuration for the SVT. Now we'll go to the next part of the SVT /n CG02. Data maintenance for the SVT. When we talk about the data maintenance for the SVT, example, I'm taking the specification header. Like two property, two places we maintain the SVT related data. The first of all, what we need to do, we need to maintain the read registration data. Am I right? So read registration data, I have to maintain it here. So I will go to the regulation, notification and reporting, international notification. I'm sorry. You ask one thing, right? What is notification status and all? You remember in the product safety, we had left one notification status. You were asking about it. Notification check, notification and all. Remember?
Right? Notification
Notification check.
Yeah.
Notification check, which we talk about, right? So that we are talking about actually. Notification check. Like our curriculum, product safety, we had a notification check. You remember you asked that notification check is not covered kind of a thing.
You want to say the notification is not ticked, right?
No. I'm talking about here course curriculum. Here, this one notification check.
Yes.
This you told that and it was not covered or something, right? Notification
Yes.
check. I told you that I'll cover in SVT. Am I right?
Yes.
That
Yes,
I'm talking about here. This is a regulation and this is we talk about actually, right? Here is the notification, international notification status. This is we talk about here. Am I clear?
Yes.
So this is what we talk about notification check. This functionality we'll use it in a EHS SVT.
I just had it out here. How to check the VAT for this one? VAT number.
VAT number. 1 second.
From this page we can see, I think.
Here it is. Report symbol. This one.
Report symbols. Okay.
This is the one.
Okay.
Suddenly, if you are Chanik, I have a memory issue. I'm sorry.
Oh, because we're doing some enhancement on this notification status, so that's why.
Oh, is it? Okay. It's there. It will be there for sure. It will be there. Okay, no problem. So here you can see the notification status. 1 second. Here you have to mention the regulatory list, revision, list of notification. Okay, and company notification, everything you have to maintain it here, right? So this all actually. So next, the notification date, notification number, everything you can mention it. So now registration data. So here we have to maintain the registration, company registration. Am I clear? So here we want to mention the registration data, like what is that company. So now example, registration list I mentioned as a reach. I'll show you this. Okay, what is the data we have to maintain it. Some other things even I am also not used it. Okay, one field I will tell you. This is a reach and revision. Which revision? Mentions of 2024. 2024 version of reach. I'm following it now. That is the meaning. 1 second. Legal entity or company name you have to enter it here. I will take SAP EHS. Okay, don't mind. I think for only representative purpose. Plant. Which plant I'm registering for? Which plant I'm registering? That plant address you have to take it. I'm taking a dummy plant. In a real-time scenario, you can take a version plant address. Registration date. Where you are done the registration, that you have to enter it here. I'll take this date. Okay. Expiry date of registration. So registrations also have the expiry date. Okay, like 1 year, 2 year kind of things are there based on the nature of the business. They will issue the registration number. They will have the validity for the registration. Registration quantity, where you have done the registration and registered quantity, how much you are registered. Like you took a registered quantity, right? Like a 10 ton, 15 ton, whatever it is actually. There you have to mention it actually. Registration number also you have to enter it here. Registration number and registration number supplier. Example, if I'm not using if any of my materials are not coming under reach, if I want to save them suppliers, raw materials coming under the reach or SVT, that registration number of him, right? That I have to enter it here. I will enter it here. Am I clear?
Yes.
So status I told, right? We have the different status. Status we talk about here. Is it a non-hazard, pre-registration plan, pre-registration progress, dossier created, all the things we mentioned about here. And then save the data. So this is we done with the registration. Background, if there is some problem in the system, don't mind. In your system, will not be problem. Will not have any problem. So next, So here you can talk about a composition data. If you want to mention any kind of composition data, you can mention it here. Clear? Next. This is all about the registration data. Then we will go to the next one, SVT related one, substance volume tracking. Once you've done the registration, then you have to go here.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
Am I clear? Specified quantity limits, SVT. So we will mention the quantity limits here, okay? Like a regulator list. So here we maintain the mentions the reach regulation, we reset reach regulation, legal entity or company name, threshold value. Threshold value, what we configured in the SPRO, that one it will come here. I'm sorry, my mistake. So I will take it as a reach 0 to 1000. Relative limit, is it a 70%, 80% return? I'll mention as a 70%. I'll mention as a 70%. And then what I'll do, I will just put as a error type. What is the sound type actually? So once the 70% reach, you want the information, warning or error. So I will mention as a information. Am I clear?
Yes.
Next, show message. You want to, once the 70% reach, you want to show the message. You want the system to show the message. You can message yes or no. You can mention say yes, right? So next, mail. You want to send. You want system to send an email. You can mention yes or no. Blocking of business processes. You want the system to block the business process? No, because it's a 70%, right? Still you have 30% remaining. That's why I don't want to system to block the business process. And remark. If you want to give any remark, you can just give it. You can just create a phrase and a phrase set. Okay. But normally we'll not use it. But yes, if you want to use it, you can just create a phrase and you can assign the phrase set. Save the data. How about 100%, 90% and all now? We created for 70%. How about 90%, 100%? Any idea? Hello. Shitij? 70% you maintain it. So how about 90%, 100%? How am I going to maintain it? No idea. So you can create as a new. And it's the same thing you can mention say here 70, 90%, and you can give the warning here, and you can mention what is the condition. And one more thing you can create it here, and 100% other things. Am I right? Am I clear, guys?
Yes.
Next, we'll go to the produce quantities. Okay. So here we talk about here if customer is using for SVT for produce quantities, I'll mention the regulatory list, legal entity, company name, plant, tracking year. I'll mention so manually. I'll enter it here, and tracking period, like a quantity. What is that? Which period? Okay, that I'll mention it here, which you configured. And we mentioned the produce quantity. What is the produce quantity? And the remarks. Average for every month quantity if you have it, or average quantity. So these also you can mention. These are all the free-defined text here. Okay, or the user-defined text here. You have to enter it manually. Am I clear? Am I clear? For consumed quantities are the same thing actually. Okay, the consumed quantities are the same thing. Plant, tracking year, tracking period, consumed quantities. Okay, you have to mention the consumed quantities and remarks. When you talk about purchase quantities basically, be careful. There are some slight changes are there here. You have to mention the tracking year, tracking period, country of origin. That is very important. Purchase means like it may be within Europe, it may be like outside Europe also. Okay, country of origin, country of recipient, purchased quantity, how much quantity, quantity was imported. That means is it imported to Europe or this kind of a scenario. Okay, and then remarks. At the same time, for the sold quantities also same thing here. Okay, if it's the sold quantities, again country of country of origin, country of recipient, and quantity was exported, yes or no. So that will maintain it here. Am I clear? Clear.
Yes.
So internal only representative purpose. Okay, we use this internal only representative purpose. As I told you that our raw materials are coming under the SVT scenario. In that time, you use this internal only representative purpose actually. Am I clear?
Yes.
So this is all about. Don't worry. Read annex ESTS. What is ESTS by the way? Any idea? EHS is nothing but extended safety data sheet. It's for Europe, okay? We mentioned actually here, okay? EHS.
It's extended.
Extended safety. You are
Just
right. Yeah,
moving
extended. You are right. Yeah, extended safety data sheets. Now we are mentioned all the things, but how system will come to know this materials related to SVT? That is also a question, right? So now for that, we'll go to the next one. Declaring the material as a SVT relevant /n MM02. P182. I'm taking the same. I'm sorry. I'll not take this. It will be not SVT. 203. One second. R203 is a standard material provided by the SAP for a training purpose. Okay. Classification view. This classification view will not be activated. It will not be there in the standard system. Okay. It will be there, but the consultant, consultant has to enable it in the back end. Am I clear?
Yes.
Here we have to take a material class as a one. Okay. Then this class first account. RCS reach relevant. This class has to be maintained. Okay. So you can see this now, right? If you enter this, it's already maintained. That's another. It's not taking it. But in a real-time scenario, you can just come here and you can enter it here. Very simple.
If we want to check these classes details, where we can check these details, like if you
Same.
like four or five classes are assigned to this material, then where to check what are the classes?
4 or 5 classes. I didn't get you. What is that?
Only one class can be assigned to one.
Only one class. Only one class.
Okay.
Only one class. Array, what I did now. So can you just check in your system? It will be there. If you go to CL02, guys, okay. So this class, you're going to get it. It will be very clearly mentioned that relevant for SVT. Clear? Next.
Yes.
Here you have to mention as a reach relevant. You have to mention the reach material nature is a preparation, whatever it is. And here you have to declare as a relevant for SVT. So based on this relevant for SVT action, system will start tracking it or not. So system will start tracking for SVT. Clear? This is all about. The last part of
the option is not enabled for this one after assigning the class as well. It will not consider it as relevant for SVS, right?
Good question. If you assign the class and if you're not mentioned as a relevant for SVT, blank or make it as a no, 100% will not track. Blank as well as no. If you put as a blank also, it will not track. And if you mention a no also, so no, you understand, right? Blank also it will not, because we tested recently, just last week.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So last part of SVT. So it's a front end. So we will go to the EHS, product safety, substance volume tracking. We have the transaction code. There are some options, right, guys, how to get that transaction details. Somewhere we have that technical detail option, right?
In the below, where?
No. If I click on any of the nodes, I can get the transaction code will be displayed here, right? Where is that? The technical documentation, right?
Yeah.
No, but it will display here only, Chanakya.
To the right side, right?
Right side, yeah. It's not. Anyway, so there are transaction code you can get it from here also, CBRC 20. So substance volume tracking, monitor substance volume tracking. If you want to monitor just you want to monitor it, just go to CBRC 20 transaction code, enter the regulation as a reach if you're implementing for a reach, and there are other such criteria as there, year and period and all. You can search it also and run it. It will show all the things: overall scenario, overall status, and planned, regulator list, company code, year, planned, specification, material, tracked substance, everything it will show here like this. What is the composition, gas number, like insect number and all. Next, we talk about the output customer. Yeah. This enhancement, right? If you did an enhancement to get a customer list, you can check it the customer list here.
Good questions. Setting. You can just
Extras.
Settings.
Okay.
And last. Yeah. Check the last one.
Technical notes, right? Thank you so much. Oh, come on. It's showing all the things now. All right. So for this actually, so we can just make it. So substance volume tracking, monitor quantity averages. If you want to track the quantities average, you can just come here and you can filter it and you can do it. And display block quantities documents. So here you mentioned this. Any materials are reached 100% and blocked, it will show here. So EKPO is table entry. You know that, right? And logs. This log basically, guys, be careful. In order to SVT to work, we should have the RFC connection. We should have the WWS server update. Then only it will work. Either it will not get actually. Am I clear? Am I clear? So here If I run this now, you'll see you'll get an error. No data found. Very good. Can you try in your system? No data. No, nothing is there in the training system. No data. So what will happen, guys? It will show the error here only. Okay. If there is an RFC issues or anything issues will be there, it will show here. Based on that, you can take a further action. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes. And one more thing I would like to say. I would like to say one more thing here. So in SVT, there are two things. Okay. Initial run and delta run. Once you are implementing the SVT for the first time, if you are running the SVT functionals, okay, or a function model and all. Example, at the time of implementation, what will happen? There are several dummy sales order will be created, several things will be created, right? So I don't want that to, what I can say, monitor it. System should first, what we'll do, we'll run the initial run. I will show you this G report. So what will happen? So I will going to run the initial run. In initial run, last, what are all the sales orders created in history, all the data, it will start triggering it and, it will start tracking it. That is the one thing. And system will take I think so, 2 to 3 days or maybe sometimes based on the data. Okay. 24 hours, 48 hours, and it will take and it will gather all the backend job will be running in the backend and it will gather all the information. After that, we'll do the delta run. We cannot show in this training system. So what you can do, if you can go to the SAP marketplace, you can check the delta run in SVT. You'll get a nice documentation, step-by-step document will be there because we should have the RFC and WWS activation in that. And it can be done in the only licensed system. Okay. So the custom system, I can say. So what will happen? So once you done delta run, okay. So last 24 hours, it will we'll run the delta run in the evening time, business hours. So last 24 hours, what are all the sales order or production orders created and any sales orders created for the SVT. So its SVT system start tracking for those materials actually. Okay. You can see this. This is one of the report. Z report. There's one transaction code. If you enter that, you can see SVT track, SVT condense, and the shipping order dispatcher, send output emails, all the things you can see it. If you see the SVT track, now see, system will track it, but it will take more and more time. But yeah, as it is a training system, I don't think so. It will take more than 2 minutes. Sometimes it may get disconnected also. Now you'll get an error. Okay, just you can see that error now. It'll take a little more time. Okay, that's fine. So what I will say that let's not wait for this. It will take too much time. So once we get this, it will show the report. Okay, report means if the SVT is run or any problem. So everything it will show. Then you can take the report by going to the CBRC 20 transaction code. Am I clear? Hope you guys understood the SVT. Am I right?
Can you repeat how to check it?
Which one? CBRC 20. The transaction code CBRC 20 just went, right? The front end. Let me go to the one more time. Wait. Here. Logistics, EHS, product safety. So I'm tracking. Here. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Here. Because we already seen everything in the system. So there is no need to do anything. If you are just go to this document, if you have any doubts, you can just come back to me. Clear? Is that fine? Yes.
This CBRC 20T code works for every regulatory list, right? I just checked in my system. There are some custom regulatory list. So I'm not able to check that list here. It's showing no data found.
Which one you are not able to find?
It only works for...
Yeah. SVT itself is for a reach, right?
Yeah, but there are some customized...
No. Okay. See. Okay. Wait here. The regulatory list button, what you are seeing here, that will show whatever the regulatory list you have configured in the system. Be careful. This, whatever the data, whatever the first button, what you are seeing in F4 option, right? That is linked to basic data tool specify regulation button in the configuration. Whatever the regulation, you have it there in the back end. Every regulator will show. But be careful. In a SVT, we had configured for the reach and TSPA 12B. You can check for the TSCA 12B or either reach. Both will come. Am I right? Both will come. If you are configured for a TSCA 12B, it will show reach to 100% will come. Other than that, it will not come for anything. Notification check also it will come.